Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply frame drop effect to a live camera preview in Flutter Android application using CameraX and Media3 effect. Now two things you need to keep in mind. First one is you need to use Flutter 3.32.0 or higher, and second is otherwise you will face lot of Gradle issues when you try to run the application. And second thing is I'm not using any third-party library. I'm writing everything via native code, so yeah, be mindful of that. So first again it's still building my application, so in the meantime let's go through the code. So first you need to go to main.dart. Here you have to add dart.io import. Then here I have created this my camera view custom dart file. So here you can see this is my project name, so you will have to write your own project name over here. Then we have imported material as well as services. Now this is boilerplate code which is present by default, so I have not changed anything. So here is my homepage widget, which is a stateful widget, and here we are just doing it for Android, right? So I have kept the camera permission as false by default, and then we are using this method channel for requesting the camera permission. Then inside init state, if platform is Android, then we just call get camera permission. Then inside get camera permission we invoke a method called get camera permission, and if the result is true we just change this value is permission granted as true. Then inside build method we have this scaffold is permission granted, and here we define a safe area of my camera view, and here we have another safe area of text give camera permission as well. So if camera permission is granted, then we display this my camera view. So next, coming back to my camera view. Sorry, before I show you this, let's show you the output so that things would be more clearer for you. I'm using Android Studio to mirror my device because it's much more easier. Okay, let me just do one quick thing. You don't have to do this. Okay, so here you can see, given that I'm mirroring my device, output might be little bit laggy, just bear with me over here. So first I'll just give the camera permission. It opens the camera for me, and here you can see it has started applying the frame drop effect. Firstly, I'm mirroring my device, so that's already causing an unnecessary lag, but it has also applied the frame drop effect over here. Now do notice like I'm using a low-end Android device, so the performance is a little bit bad as well, given that this Media3 effect library is still in alpha. But here you can see once I click on take photo, it captures the image and display it inside an image view widget. The take photo button is also a native view, only this image displaying of image is a Flutter image widget. Coming back to our code now, here you can see we have this material as well as services.dart. Then here we have the stateful widget. Here we have method channel of camera view. Then here we have this creation params as well, and here we have image URL. Now if the image URL is not equal to empty and platform is Android, then we display the image using image.file. Else we use the Android view by passing the view type of camera view. Layout direction is left to right. We pass the creation param. Here is our standard message codec as well, and here we have this on platform view created. So inside on platform view created, we just listen for this callback method, and here we have this key as well, from which we get the image URL of the captured image, and we just set the variable to this as well, to our image URL. Okay, so that's it from the Flutter Dart side. Then let's go to Android, go to app, go to build.gradle.kts, and here we have the dependency blocks. So we add Android X camera core, then the camera 2, camera life cycle, camera view, then Android X camera Media3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, then Android X Media3 effect, and then Android X constraint layout, as well as I don't think we require this, so I can just remove this. This was part of my previous tutorial, I'll just remove that. Okay, then just go to src main Android manifest.xml. Here you need to add this uses feature of hardware camera, then the camera permission, write external storage permission. You also don't need the internet permission, but I have just added it just for the sake of it. Then just go to Kotlin, go to main activity.kt. Firstly you will have to copy all these imports. Then here we have this camera mutable list permission, and if Android version greater than P, we also use the write external storage permission. Method channel result is used for sending data from native Android side to Flutter side. Here we override this method on request permission result, and if the request code is equal to request code permission, and if all permissions are granted, we return back true, else we return back as false. And here we have this helper method of all permission granted, where we just do context compat.check self permission. Here we override this configure Flutter engine method as well, so we register our view as well using this my camera view factory. Then here we have this method channel where we pass camera permission. So as soon as you ask for the camera permission, we display the pop-up using this particular bit of code, and once the user grants the permission, automatically this part is called. So here you can see in registering our view, we call this my camera view factory. So here we have this my camera view factory. Again, this is boilerplate code which you have to write every time you want to embed a native Android view inside your Flutter application. So firstly, this should be your own package name which you can copy it from main activity.kt. But here you can see this is boilerplate code which you can just copy paste it. Don't think too much about it. Yeah, it's boilerplate code like I said. Now here we are referencing another file called my camera view. So you will have to create another Kotlin file called mycameraview.kt, and again this should be your own package name. Now there are a lot of imports. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Then here we define this my camera view. Here is our image capture, process camera provider. Then we define our constraint layout. Here is our preview view for live camera preview, and then here is our button as well. This is our method channel. Here is our camera executor service. This is the file name format. Then here is our layout params which we define for our constraint layout. Then here we have this constraint set as well. Then here we constrain our camera to all sides of the screen, and from the bottom we leave a margin of 200. Then here we have this constrain our button, sorry, here we constrain the preview view, the camera preview, okay, and here we constrain the button as well, and from constrain to the bottom of the screen. And then we add a click listener called take photo as well. Here is our setup camera from which we start our camera. We initialize our camera executor. Inside take photo we get our image capture. Here we define the simple date format as well. Then we do content values dot apply, passing the display name mime type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have this image capture dot output file options. Then we call the take picture, in which we override two methods, and inside on image saved we invoke this particular thing called send from native, where we get the path of the saved image. Then here is a helper method which we are using over here to get the path of the saved image. Then we override get view, where we return constraint layout. We override dispose, where we shut down our camera executor. Inside start camera we define our aspect ratio strategy, resolution selector. Then we define our process camera provider as well. Then we do camera provider future dot get. Then here we define our preview view as well. Here is our image capture as well. Here we get hold of our default back camera. Then we define use case group builder dot add preview use case as well as image capture use case. Then here is our Media3 effect as well, and here we apply the frame drop effect. Now you can play around with these values. So for now I'm just using 60f and 2.0f, and then we add the Media3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera, we bind it to the life cycle, and then we just do context compat dot get main executor, passing in our context. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.